The Nikki Glaser Podcast. The Nikki Glaser Podcast.
Here's Nikki. Hello, here I am. Welcome to the show. It's Nikki Glaser Podcast. Feeling anxious at the start of the show, all of a sudden, and related to everything that's happening in the world, but just a million things that weren't election related just piled in during the theme song. And then on top of Election Mountain, it was like I built up a landfill of anxiety. But we're going to get rid of it.
The good news is if you're listening to this right now, you may know the outcome.
Oh, yeah, but you are in the future right now.
Yes,
how's it going there? Is everything okay? Let's just talk to people in the future, like given both circumstances, because one of them is going to be true.
Same thing. Because
let's give like a message to the future, because it's going to be us too. We need it.
Okay, so option one: Jill Stein wins, shocks the world.
Everything's going to be okay. Yeah. Okay. So let's start. I always, when I choose best case scenario, worst case scenario, or someone says I have bad news, I have good news, you always want the bad news first, right?
Yeah, well, whenever someone says I have bad news and good news, I think that's horseshit, because the bad news is never that bad.
Yeah, and no, the bad news. Oh, you're right.
They're always like, I have good. If they're going to be playful about the presentation, it's not going to be like your uncle has cancer. It's going to be something
that's really funny.
So
you
bad.
need to write that down. That's like a good bit.
Yeah,
because playful about the presentation is a really funny way to present that, because I think that's so true. You know, they're going to say you need to sit. Are you sitting down?
Are you sitting down?
That's because Gen Z has ruined that, because now they're like seated and like, so now it's like, are you sitting down? Like and someone might say your uncle is dead, and someone will be like, why? Is he like amazed at something? He like was so happy about something. He died. No, he's actually dead. And they're like, I don't believe you. He is so slay. No, someone slayed him in a brutal killing last night, and he's dead. Period. Okay. Worst case scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Trump is going to be our president again.
Okay, Trump's president, and the
hold on,
House,
I can't breathe. Hold on, is
House
Julie okay? Julie is not okay right now. Julie, I might fly her to New York tomorrow if the news goes that way, because she will need like actually that wouldn't be good, because she'd be on a plane by herself. She needs to be around loved ones. I gave her Goldie for the weekend.
Oh, very good.
Thanks, Nick. Thanks for that, is what she'd say. No, my mom is watching Goldie for the weekend, but I need a comfort animal. Last night I spent the night at my parents' house because I just didn't want to be alone on election eve. And I literally almost was like, can I pull out the gymnastics mat under your bed and sleep on the floor like I used to in 8th grade? I know it's still there.
Election eve is very mystical sounding.
Yeah, it feels like I want to be close to loved ones. Okay, so if he wants, I honestly don't even want to talk about it, because it might manifest it, right? What about that?
Okay, we don't want to manifest. Okay, so let's just skip
Future people. Sorry that you're on your own, kid, but no one from the past has any wisdom for you of how to handle this. It's just going to be one foot in front of the other. Start meditating immediately. Zachary Levi told me at that party to start meditating, and that it was urgent, and he was not wrong. Whether it went one way or the other, I mean,
Zachary Quinto.
Sorry, Levi. I wish Zachary Levi was trying to get me to join Scientology. He was trying to get me to do a stress test or whatever he's into. Yeah. No, I think he's a Christian, a hardcore Christian, which same difference, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, we're all part of a cult of one kind or another.
Exactly. I'm a Swiftie.
We're all suckers.
Listen,
and cultists. We just want to follow a narcissist. Is that so hard? That's all we want.
Is it so wrong to have a weak human brain that is susceptible to brainwashing? Is that so bad? Because I was listening to Mark Cuban on Sam Harris's podcast, and he's like, the way the algorithm is, they just target you if they think you're susceptible to falling for this. And maybe I'm susceptible to it too. That's the problem, is like when you're brainwashed, you don't really know you're being brainwashed, right? Like otherwise you would Get out of it. So I admit I could be brainwashed about things too, but they just, if they've proven, like we're mice, that if you put information in front of people long enough and enough times, and they see it in different ways, presented in a comedy sketch, presented in a serious TED Talk like thing, presented like a guy in his car talking, to the camera, presented in a song, like the message will get through.
Right.
It
The
will
first
work.
message always wins too.
Really?
Generally, it's much easier to give someone a new opinion than to shake an already existing opinion. So
That makes
basically, it was
sense.
like a race
Yeah, it
to the
does.
start.
Oh,
What?
because it's kind of like whatever your parents are, you are. And I think of that too. Like, I just think about some of my family that's maybe voting a different way than I am. And I go, man, I just got born to the right sibling in that family. Like, if I was born to for me, or at least I think that because I'm in it, right? Like, I
Right.
go, oh
Now
my
the
God,
other
I'm so
people
lucky
think you're
Julie
in the
Glaser
wrong
was
one.
my mom. Yeah. Yeah. And
I mean-
they feel the same way. I was sitting next to people at Starbucks today, this group of old men who I'm sure were voting the other way. I'm sure of it. I went away from them as soon as I realized my earbuds weren't working because I was going to put in my AirPods and just blast white noise so I didn't have to hear their white noise. And because I was just like, I just don't want to be mad at my fellow man today. I want to come from a loving
Good.
place. But then my
I think that's a good place to
AirPods
be.
didn't work, so I just switched tables, and I didn't do it frantically. I didn't do it like, I don't want to hear about Trump and like I did it calmly. Like, I don't want them to know which side I'm on. But then my computer was on a grotesque picture of Trump with like an article about him. So I did like leave my laptop open, like facing them as I moved. I was like, okay, I'm going to backlash in this way. But
So you don't like Trump?
of course not.
Are you endorsing Kamala officially? on
Do I
Thursday?
have to say that? Like, why are people? We
I'm
know what side everyone's on. I
know.
think it's so annoying when
Can we
someone. Yes, of course, I'm endorsing Kamala, and I'm so embarrassed that it's after the fact. But of course, I mean, like, I just never
Finally,
wanted to
we've
get
been waiting.
so. I'm honestly scared to say how I feel about Trump because of what the future might hold. Like, I was just reading about the dictator that took over in Bangladesh, and if there was any dissenting opinion towards her during her campaign or like before, like or if your
woman?
dad said something or went to a march, you were disappeared. You
Yeah.
were taken and put in an underground prison since 2013, and then when she was released, they took over, and there was a coup. I guess that's the word for it.
Yeah.
They all undisappeared these people because they were all still around because they didn't kill them because they tortured them to the point where they almost died and they would stay alive. It's like the worst imaginable thing would happen to these people that all they did was go to a march.
Yeah.
So I'm a little scared.
I mean, it probably won't come down to that because.
Why couldn't it?
I mean, I'm not saying it couldn't. I'm saying it probably won't.
Don't you think if that person could have everyone that's ever said anything mean about them put away, they would? That's always my question to people. Don't you think he would?
No, he's a very forgiving man.
Oh, no, he's a very manipulated man and a very
Yeah, if you just switch sides and say, actually, I was wrong, I love you,
oh, yeah,
he will
that's
not
true.
put you in jail.
That's actually a good news because I will flip so fucking fast to save my head.
We'll all flip.
I
flip.
will-
I'm not flipped. I'm in the middle anyway. I mean, I obviously am not,
when I am being led to the gallows and he's there, I'll be like, you're hot.
yeah,
You're
exactly.
fucking hot. I want you to
I
know
was
you're one of the
wrong.
hottest men that's ever lived. That's what I'll say first. Okay, this is my
Yes.
plan. I just want to say
So
you're
you're-
so fucking hot, but it won't matter if I'm not young enough, and it already doesn't. I have like 3 days where he would care what my opinion is of him because you have to stay a hot woman.
Yeah.
So what should we do as people he doesn't want to fuck when we're headed to
As
the gallows
people he doesn't want to fuck, we
to
say,
win his favor?
I mean, we were wrong. Everything he said was right. He's the best president that ever lived. He's better than Lincoln. He's so smart and such a great businessman. And I fully support him.
Okay, do I like that because he's not really forgiving. Like he's not liking you more or like seeing that you have humanity where you erred and now you're learning that, like, he's not having empathy towards your position. He's just, that isn't forgiveness, right? What he's doing.
I mean, it's, well,
In the true sense of the word.
Truth. Well, I mean, in the true sense of the word, like deep down inside, if there was the capability.
There's a difference between like hearing someone out and going like, wow, I was really angry at you. And like, I see where you're coming from. And I understand that you have changed your mind. And I want to like,
right.
I want to forgive you. And it's like a selfless thing almost.
It's outcome based forgiveness. I think it's like, I want this outcome, and it's almost like I don't care what it's almost like the ultimate forgiveness, because you don't care what the person did at all, as long as they get to the spot where you want them to be.
I wonder what I could say
there.
to him that would be true, that I wouldn't have to lie. I could say you're funny.
He's very funny. He's the
And
funniest president that's ever lived.
You did it. You did it.
The other thing about him is he's only angry when he loses and doesn't get his way. When he wins and he's on top and he's not being...
It sounds like Forrest, my nephew. It literally is that. You give him what he wants and he likes you, and if you don't, he'll cry and scream right away.
Yes.
But you can easily get him back by giving him back the candy.
That's right.
And he will stop crying on a dime.
That's right. So that's why I don't think he's going to send you to the gulags if he wins and he's in charge and he gets to do whatever he wants. He's going to be golfing.
As long as we
he's
just
going to be building new Trump towers. He's going to be making deals with international.
Oh, you don't think he will have vengeance? Okay, that's interesting.
I think he'll have vengeance.
I'm feeling a little bit better.
He'll have vengeance against a few people. Maybe he'll have vengeance against just a couple of high-profile people who betrayed him specifically. But I don't think he's going to throw people in the gulags. I don't think he's going to.
My life won't change that much, I don't think.
Not in Missouri.
No matter what happens to me. What do you mean?
Well, it's already a red state. You already have,
Well,
conservative.
I'm not needing an abortion. I mean, me personally.
Yeah. Okay. You personally.
Me personally, I don't like I don't like going hiking, so I don't really care that nature keeps going. I'm literally only worried about other people and animals and the planet and the future. Like, I'll be okay.
Well, that's a big problem because
what?
I mean, you personally, I guess this doesn't. Because most conservatives on the extreme don't believe in climate change, and if you listen to Trump's Joe Rogan interview, where he did come across as a very likable man, if you actually listen to what he was saying, a lot of what he was saying is that he wants to remove the EPA so that corporations can build buildings without any regulations.
Right.
That's what he was saying.
Does that surprise anyone? And people go, he won't do that. About deportation, everything he says, because it's so wild, they go, he won't do it. He said he was going to hand RFK Jr. Health. Like what he gave a list of things. It was a ton of stuff he's going to hand over to him.
Consider
vaccines.
Yeah.
To RFK and he goes and everything. But I'm going to be in charge of that liquid gold. That's what he said. And everyone cheers. It's like, but don't you worry, I'll stay in charge of the liquid gold. Like, okay, so you just want oil? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Anyway, I just think that I really wish more people weren't just looking out for themselves, because if I was, I wouldn't even care, and I think that it doesn't matter to me either way. Like, I'm not going to get benefits from I feel personally, but I'm looking out for other women and other animals and just overall people.
Well, you would benefit, in fact, as a quote unquote rich person. As a rich person, you're going to get a tax break. And everyone who knows me even a little bit knows I don't give a fuck about that. I like paying taxes. I don't care. Like, I'm blessed to be even rich. And yes, they should. No capital gains tax, Nick. You're going to be cruising. God. You're going to have so much money when Trump
that's
wins.
only for people with 100 million and more. I heard today.
And
get ready.
She doesn't really have any investments, like a house or anything, for capital gains.
But you have income, and your income tax is going to go down because you are in that bracket. And then you're also, by the way, a corporation. You're also a corporation. You are incorporated, are you not? You're not a person. You're a company. And therefore, you're going to pay even less taxes because of that. You're going to be cruising.
Bullshit. I should be paying more than anyone. It really is true. If you're rich,
vote for Kamala if you want to pay.
We started this with trying to feel better. I feel like we're making Nikki feel worse.
No. I feel well, now I'm excited. If Trump wins, okay, now I'm
all she has to do is call him hot, and then she makes $1 million.
This is it. I'm gonna if he wins, I'm just gonna. Is it too
Turn.
much to just turn?
Turn. No.
Is
no.
it like it for my? If we're all looking out for number one,
Yep.
why wouldn't I just turn and have a cozy life? But I can't because I can't. I'm just not there yet. I'm not brainwashed that way yet.
You got to make enough money so that you can start your own corporation that's environmentally responsible.
There you go.
And hope that the country wants to pay in a capitalist way for environmentally responsible products.
And they won't, because I just heard Mark Cuban say that a lot of issues would be solved if Americans would pay a premium on USA made things, but they don't, and they never will, and that is the problem. Everyone acts like USA made, that means something. If it meant something, he said, if people cared that things were made in the USA, if Americans cared about that, I would have so many companies here making stuff. He was like, I'm interested in making money, but they won't pay more.
No.
So you're just going to lose.
And to be honest, I'm going to be totally honest. Shirts made in Bangladesh fit me better. I don't know if I have just like a Bangladeshi body, but when I'm at H&M, I'm like, why?
my clothes to have a little struggle on them, a little like resentment, and I just it makes the well, and you know what the truth is though, everything is made so shitty now.
Yeah.
But it's just everything. It's just the quality of clothing is down, and there's no doubt about it. Speaking of clothing, I am getting ready for this trip that I have, and I'm like styling myself for this Joan Rivers thing that Chris is producing, that I'm performing at the Apollo on Thursday. And
nice.
I'm like, I'm just gonna style myself because I got a cute dress that I really actually like, and I'm like, I'm just gonna do this. And then I lost the dress. Like I bought it 3 weeks ago, or Brenna bought it for me actually when she went on a shopping spree to get me a bunch of clothes when we were.
How did you lose it?
I don't know.
In your travels?
Yeah, in my travels somewhere. So I'm frantically calling all the hotels I was staying at just to get it back eventually. I have to get I have to just go buy a new dress for Thursday. But that was a bummer. And I was but it's also like, in the scheme of things, who gives a shit? It's fine. Like,
it's nice to hear that you left something behind that's so important, because I left my laptop charger at SoFi Stadium, and I felt so stupid. I've never left my laptop charger anywhere.
That's
ever.
why. Okay, well then, you know what? You shouldn't feel stupid because you were due. And that's
due.
A normal thing to happen. And it actually happens to people a lot more than once. And like, you've never had it. So like, okay, it's like COVID. You lasted a really long time. You're one of those people that never got it, but it's going to get you eventually.
Yeah.
You know?
Did you get your COVID vaccine this year?
No.
Are you not going to do it?
I didn't even think to. And I know I should, but I'm too busy to get vaccinated.
What about flu shot?
No.
When's
I
the
never
last
get
time
it.
you had COVID?
December 2022.
Oh wow. Okay, so it's been a while. I mean, I don't know. I got mine left and right. I was knocked out for a day. I hope. I mean,
with the vaccine.
I'm now getting it just every year with my flu shot. Is that wrong?
No, I don't think it's wrong at all. No, I think that's the right thing to do. I think I should do that, but I just haven't because I just am. I'm going to say busy, but I like.
You traveling the world, you should be getting COVID like every year.
I thought I was getting sick yesterday in a class, or where was I? Somewhere where my throat, I was just like, it's catching up to me. And I just fucking meditated that shit away, dude. I said,
Nikki has a strong immune system.
Yeah.
I just talked to it. I was like, you just hold on, girl. You can come through. My sickness can come through on next Monday for a day. You'll get 12 hours and then you can be sick. But I can't be sick right now. There's just, it can't happen. It won't happen. And so I just like talked to my throat feeling and I was like, we're going to take care of you. We're going to drink lots of water. We're going to get some good sleep tonight. And then you need to like cool out and cool your jets and be okay. And then it's going to go. And it's hasn't bothered me today.
Well, this might not be true, but isn't it true that most symptoms you have are just it's not like the disease gives you the symptoms. It's your body's immune system fighting the disease that creates the symptoms. So like a sore throat is not like Is that true or not? I don't know.
No, I like that.
Is it the virus that's giving you a sore throat, or is it your body is creating this sore throat to fight off the virus? Like when you get a fever, that's actually your immune system making the fever,
thing that's
not the
so
virus.
awful, sneezing and coughing and congestion and mucus is all those are responses to, because mucus is built as like a defense.
Yeah. So if you could just tell your body, like, don't bother
we gotta
fighting
get a break.
this virus,
Yeah.
then you won't get the mucus. You'll die, but you won't get the mucus. You won't get the coughing. Like, what? Why bother with all of these symptoms?
I'm telling you, it fucking has worked for me, and
Yeah.
I mind over matter with it. I just trust that it works because it has before, and so now it just does.
Yeah.
We gotta take a break, but we'll be back after this.
I like that Brian says the mucus instead of mucus.
I like that too.
Yeah, I always say the mucus. It's like the Ohio State
Ever
University.
since Mucinex commercials, where you really saw it personified.
Those guys. I mean,
The
that
Mucus
Mucinex
family.
guy. I love that guy.
yeah.
He should have his own show. I tried to like make a show kind of with a guy like that as the star. He's a great guy. He's like Fred Flintstone in a way.
Or the guy from Dinosaurs, the dad from Dinosaurs. He kinda
Oh
looks
yeah, that's short-lived.
like
I
him.
mean, everyone loved dinosaurs. They got rid of it too soon, just like the actual dinosaurs. That show was really fucking sad at the end. Do you know how that show ended?
Yes, I have
Wait,
thought.
what was
I have
it?
Have
seen
we
it on
talked about
Reddit
this
a
before?
lot.
Because
No,
I watched the
but
ending.
on Reddit, it pops up probably like once a year about like one of the most sad endings ever of a show was Dinosaurs.
And the fucking okay. So if you don't know, Dinosaurs is this like Jim Henson puppet, life-size, live-action dinosaur show that started a dinosaur family in prehistoric times. It was kind of like the Flintstones, except instead of people, it was dinosaurs being dinosaurs.
Mm-hmm.
And the end of the show, the
And
whole
it was a
series,
comedy,
it was a comedy,
and it
The whole-
followed Family Matters
right. It was
Yes,
like a sitcom
on TGIF. Yeah.
where every episode
It
was
was
just
Full House, Family Matters, Dinosaurs.
dinosaurs.
Yep.
You might remember the baby who would say "not the mama" and then
Not
hit
the
the dad
mama.
with the club.
Yeah, it was cute.
There was
The last
also I'm the
episode of
baby, gotta love
Dinosaurs-
me.
Wait, what'd you say?
Wasn't it I'm the baby, gotta love me?
Oh,
he said that
yeah, I
too.
think that was another catchphrase.
Yeah, he had two catchphrases. I used to have the baby as a stuffed
Toy?
animal, and he would say those things.
I'm the baby, gotta love me.
Yeah, which is so true.
It was
Truer
endearing.
words have never been said. So the last episode of Dinosaurs, a meteor is coming towards Earth, and there's some sort of I don't know if it's a meteor, but an environmental calamity is occurring that is going to destroy the planet and wipe out all the dinosaurs. And the family, the sitcom family, is just sitting in their living room going like, so we're all gonna die? And even the kids are like, I'm not gonna get to grow up and enjoy my life. And they're like, yeah, this sucks. We're all dead. And then it just fades to black.
I feel
And
like
what makes it even sadder
are we on Dinosaurs? It's the new Are We on Hacks?
we are.
Okay.
What makes it even sadder is that the reason why the world is ending is something the dad did.
What?
Oh, wait, I forgot this part of it.
Like the dad supported some anti-environmental company
Yes.
that wound up like blowing volcanic ash into the sky, which blocked out the sun. It was his fault. And they're all going to die. His whole family is going to die. And they're just sitting there like in the Titanic when the water's rising and that couple's in the bed. They're just sitting there
Oh my
waiting for the
God.
world to end. And that's the end of a sitcom.
Well, that's how it's going to end for some group of people that are on
Yeah,
Earth together.
not
when
us.
there
We're
is a
not.
mass extinction.
Yeah.
It will, like, just because, you know, I'm not even going to say what I was going to say because it just gets me into rough territory. But like,
But it won't be
it's-
us. We're not that special. We're not special enough to be the last.
I think we might be. I mean, I think, I think,
Well, this is
I
it,
think
huh?
I think it'll be a generation or two.
This podcast has been very
We're very
negative
close.
and very depressed. And
I don't
imagine
think
if
it
the
has
people,
been.
but imagine if the people listening to it are like, Kamala won. What are you guys talking about?
Oh my God. Okay. Hi guys.
Sorry.
What a fucking like, oh my God, she swept it. This is so exciting. Like everything that we maybe imagined has come true. Why can't I picture it at all? I can't picture myself like, but I think it would be you know what, man, I'll be so fucking happy. I didn't even think about like how much it will make my life fucking great.
Mhm.
And my mood and my like depression, like it will
Yeah.
actually improve my life
Make Nikki's
so
life great
much.
again.
Oh God! Please, where are those
Also,
hats?
you know what's getting swept under the rug too? This is really wild. If Kamala wins, she would be the first woman president, and I feel like nobody
don't even talk about
gives
it.
a shit about that.
No. It's not that they don't give a shit about it. It is not what she's been running with because she knows, much like on Veep, I'll quote Selena Meyer on Veep, where they go, ma'am, we think you should put out a statement. There's some, thing happens. And they said, we think as a woman, she goes, no, not as a woman. I can't identify as a woman. They can't know that. Men hate women and women hate women. And don't you think? And most women do hate women. And she was, and she goes, and women who hate women or something like that. And then she asked Amy, she's like, and most women do hate women, don't you think? And Amy's like, yeah. And like, it was like, but I love that she goes, they can't know that. It's but that's true. Like Kamala.
Well,
Chris
I
said
understand
it as soon
why
as she
Kamala
started reading. He was like, running. He said she needs to not get into this like first woman stuff. It's going to turn people off, and she fucking didn't at all. It's not talked about at all.
Right? No, she succeeded.
She's black.
What? I don't think that she.
It's awesome.
I don't
There's
think that
so many
she should
awesome
lead
things
with
about
being being the first woman president. But the fact that like our society is not even it's not even clocking in my mind that she's a woman, that she could be the first woman president. That's how weird the election is. When it was Hillary, I feel like that was like number one or two.
This is designed to be this way.
Yeah.
It is. Hillary leaned into woman and it didn't fucking work. Women were not that excited.
No.
They worked. I mean, some women were, a lot of women were, not everyone. So they pivoted. It was a choice to not lean into that. Why wouldn't you lean into that? I mean, it's the most obvious thing.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Well, because
she's young and vibrant and gorgeous. Like they didn't lean into any like femininity. I don't think at all.
Well, as soon as she announced, or as soon as she was selected as the nominee, the first attack from the Trump campaign was DEI hire. So I think in a way they helped because they had to thwart off that attack by pretending like that she's a clear, like silhouette Microsoft Outlook without your profile picture inserted candidate.
Wait, what's DEI? I always hear this.
That's diversity, equity, and inclusion, which is like when companies have these policies that bring in people of different diverse ethnic groups and stuff, and hire them. And then a lot of people say, well, those people didn't deserve the jobs because they're less qualified, and they just got them because of some DEI policy. And so when
was
Kamala,
that called affirmative action, or we got rid of?
They changed it to DEI because people were. Affirmative action became such a hot button phrase that a lot of the companies changed it to DEI.
Oh, okay, so you could have just said affirmative. So they rebranded.
Well,
they got a new
there is
logo.
a slight difference, I guess you could say. Like DEI is like a policy, and affirmative action is like sometimes the government stepping in and filling up those quotas, and sometimes it's the company. But DEI is just like a policy the company has, where like it would be nice if we created some situations where we would allow diverse candidates to flourish. Whereas affirmative action is like, we're going to put a black person here and force you to have this person here.
Okay.
Kind of like that.
It's a suggestion. DEI is a suggestion.
It was a little bit of a softer push that had the same outcome, which is more diverse people. And so, but then obviously Fox News and stuff was like, DEI is evil and we hate it. And so when Kamala was the nominee, they were like, she's a DEI hire. She doesn't deserve it. She's not qualified. The only reason she's there is because she's a woman and she's black. Yeah.
It didn't work. It didn't stick.
It worked in some circles.
It just tired out.
She's still, no, I mean, I think that's still part of some of the
I've heard
attack.
DEI a ton and I've never once looked into it. So I'm sure that's what I was reading and just not knowing what it was.
But she's not a DEI hire. I mean, she's preeminently qualified. She's, obviously been the vice president.
She's
which is
so fucking bubbly and cute and happy and energetic and thriving. Like, it's so cool to see someone who's just showing up and like looks like they want to be there. It's giving Obama first run, like just endless energy, the right energy. It just feels so good. Like, I just like her so much.
Mm-hmm.
And but it doesn't even matter because it could be anyone to me.
Right.
It
I
doesn't
like that
fucking
thing you
matter, but
posted
I'm
this
so
morning.
glad that it's her.
I like
But
that
it could
Sam
be anyone.
Harris quote you posted this morning because I
Yeah.
kind of feel that way. I mean, I'm not like, if I could vote in a primary and pick my ideal candidate, it would not have been Kamala. I'm not like super excited specifically by Kamala.
The positive case for Harris is simple. She will be a normal president, surrounded by normal experts, seeking normal political ends. The scientists she consults will be real scientists. The doctors, real doctors. Her administration will not be a 4chan thread come to life. Her foreign policy will not be made in consultation with podcasters who hawk gold, ivermectin, and MREs. The notion of banning some vaccines will not receive serious consideration. Grifters and lunatics like Alex Jones, Tucker Carlson, and Candace Owens won't be shortlisted for weekends in the Lincoln bedroom. The final stage of her campaign wasn't organized and funded by an increasingly erratic billionaire who hallucinates about the strategic replacement of white America, and she will owe him no debt of gratitude. The positive case for Harris is easy to make. She is a sane public servant who will be committed to the rule of law and the betterment of our society. Boom.
Yeah, I like
Period.
that because it's not saying like Kamala is the ideal choice. She is the best
She's
possible.
normal.
Right. She's just normal versus crazy and chaos.
Yeah. So, when I voted last week and I met that woman who kind of
Yes.
saved my life in that line, this angel that just appeared behind me and just
Therapist.
whispered something affirmative to me. Yeah, the therapist. Okay, so last night I went over to my parents' house for emotional support, and we were sitting at the dinner table, and my dad was talking, and my mom got a text and interrupted him, and that turned into a kind of a fight because she interrupts him all the time. And I go, Dad, and he goes, she does it every time, and I go, either get used to it or get out. I go, it's not going to change. We know she does it. It's that's what I say to my parents so much. I'm just like, stop with the same complaints.
Yeah.
Either accept it or divorce.
That's
and they're
right.
not going to do divorce, so just accept it. That she just doesn't. She's going to interrupt you. Chris accepts it about me. I interrupt him you guys accept it about me. I'm an interrupter, and I know it's rude, and I do want to work on it. But
I like
if I had to
that.
hear that back to me all my life, I couldn't. What'd you say,
You know
Noah?
what's interesting?
I said I like that you're the interrupter. That's a cool little title there.
The interrupt. It's it's such a rude thing to be, but I do
like
it a
it.
lot.
Well, it helps with writing because frequently you're like a couple of steps ahead. And so like if I throw out like a premise or something and I'm like, yeah, what if you interrupt me and hit us with the punchline and the tag. Then we don't have to think of any punchline and tag because you just do
That's
it.
really nice of you. That really just built my self-esteem more than you know. Okay. Thank you, Brian. Clip it. It's for my own personal collection. don't even post it on the. I just need to
send
hear
it to
that to make myself feel good about myself. The other day I was feeling really down about I am not a good writer and I can't write or whatever. And Emily was like, I'm going to edit together footage of you writing. Because I've witnessed so
Did
much
she?
of it. And she was
Yeah.
backstage. No,
Yeah.
she was like, I'm in the middle of it. And I was like, you don't need to. Thank you. This was nice to hear. She was like, I have enough to make a very compelling video. And I was like, I know you do. I trust you. This really did make me feel better. I just need someone I trust who's not going to bullshit me to tell me that I am. And then I'm like, I'm cool. Just tell me I'm hot and you won't go to the gallows. Okay. So my mom my mom interrupts my dad. With a message from her friend. Her friend saw something on Facebook, and this was what she saw. She said, please share this with Nikki. One of my dear friends posted this on her Facebook page. And this woman is just a friend of my mom. I don't even know. But this is the post that this woman saw on her Facebook feed. Yesterday was the most memorable day of voting for me, and only partly because it was Halloween. I talked for the full hour-long wait with the woman in front of me. She was smart,
God.
genuine, and open, and we talked about our work. She's a comedian. And lots about our journeys, delving into self-compassion and personal growth in general. We also talked about Kirkwood and realized that her sister has been this woman's daughter, Spanish teacher. When we said goodbye, we told each other our names, and it wasn't until I talked to my husband later, she says his name, later, and told him what she does for a living and what her name is, Nikki, I didn't ask her last name, that he informed me I had spent the hour talking with famous stand-up comedian Nikki Glaser. And then
Tagged or untagged?
untagged.
Wow.
But my mom
that's-
didn't send me the rest of it. There was more to it. Come on, Mom.
Oh, man.
Hey, Mom, can you send me the rest of that text from your friend? You only sent me the first part, period. Thanks.
So she posted this somewhere?
Yeah.
On Instagram or
so
somewhere?
nice.
Or Facebook?
Yeah, on Facebook. And because I was kind
conclusion?
of like, bye. Like we kind of like floated away from each other because you just go to vote and then it's like you have to like just you go to your like little separate booth and I'm just like, bye. I just go, what's your last name? Like I was just like, I wanted to like connect because she's someone I would obviously be friends with.
When I talk to a girl at a thing or whatever, and then and I'm like, there's a chance. Then we separate. I don't know her name. Yeah, and then you got to like do all this sleuthing to figure out what their name is, so you could find them on Facebook. And then at the time, it was just Facebook. And then
I got her last name, and then so I could, and I did it under the guise of like wanting to ask my sister about her daughter, but I really was like, I want to be friends with this woman and find her, maybe. But also the other thing. But no, I honestly did want to tell my sister.
We don't know the conclusion of this post.
We don't know the conclusion. Well, it sounds like she had a great time with me.
Who knows?
Like I got a good review of standing next to me in line, and she did not know I was a comedian. There was no reason for her to like have that made me feel so good.
So funny. If you had a Yelp page for your interactions, there's pictures of like the interior of.
That's where we're headed.
Well, yeah, that was a Black Mirror episode.
But wouldn't I get like a lot of points for that?
Yeah, you would get
in that
super
episode?
points, 5 stars. Yeah,
sweet. Oh my god.
But we don't know. The conclusion could be, and then I found out it was comedian Nikki Glaser. ... She is the worst person. We don't know what's after that ellipses.
Oh my god. Wait. There was a woman when I was in Kansas City. This is so crazy. I didn't talk about this on the podcast. My sister and Kirsten and me and Chris were all at dinner, and I went to go to the bathroom, and as I was walking back, I passed this table, and Chris and Lauren and Kirsten like kind of saw me talking to the table, but they stopped me, and the guy was like, "Oh my god, I'm such a huge fan. What are you doing in town? Talk to me." And he goes, "Huge fan." And then this other was like, "Oh my god, you're so funny." And then the girl sitting with them goes, "I don't like you."
Oh my god.
And she goes, they're fans. So I'm not. Something like that. It was that cutting. I'm not joking you. I wish I could remember
exactly.
She
thinks she's on the internet. She doesn't realize she's in real life right now, and she's actually talking to a person. I
respected it. She was like, and I don't like you, and I'm not a fan. It was something very like matter of fact and like being like I had said something that really upset her or something. And I was
beef.
Disarmed. I just was like, oh, all right, well, fair. We all are entitled to our own opinion. I said something like that and was like, okay. And then I just immediately went back to the table and was like, you won't believe what the girl behind me just said to me. And they were like, what? And they were like, oh my God. And then Lauren and Kirsten were furious. Chris was like, I don't know that she said that. And they were out for blood. They couldn't stop watching her because they were facing her and they were like, she's not even looking over here. Wait, she really said that to you? I'm going to say something. And I was like, maybe she was joking. Maybe she was being sarcastic. Maybe she really didn't know who I was.
Some people are not good at comedy. That's the thing. And that might have been her attempt to be funny.
Sarcasm does take me by. Sometimes I am kind of autistic with it and take it as face value, and so
this could have been a joke.
And I even said that I was like, I could be, and they were like, no, that is not a joke. And they didn't really hear it, but it did it. If I were a betting woman, I would say this woman did not like me and knew exactly who I was.
You should have said, well, I don't like you.
So that was weird.
Was Kirsten pumping?
Yeah,
was she pumping at this time?
Oh, she was. Blood was pumping through her veins in her neck because she was so mad on my. She could have pumped some neck blood. No, she wasn't pumping at the table. She was thinking about pumping though. If I know Kirsten, when she's not pumping, she's thinking about pumping, and she was talking about pumping because pumping's life, man. Pumping is life. I need to get you guys a pumping shirt that the boob flaps come down and it says pumping is life.
That would be amazing.
It would be great.
Be amazing. I have to alter my whole wardrobe. It's
every
crazy.
time I hear Kirsten's girls chat, it's in the background of pumping.
Always pumping.
Always pumping. Yeah, so that was really like it made me feel so good. I was like, Dad, Mom is allowed to interrupt you with this one because it was important. Because then he wasn't listening. I go, do you just hear what she said? And he was like, I'm not. What do you mean? And I go, the woman that was in line. She sent a message in a bottle out to me on Facebook.
Yes.
I just felt like she made it, like, I feel like we're going to be friends now.
This is it. How old is she?
I think she's probably, she has a daughter in my sister's class, so probably in her 50s.
In her 50s? Then she's a therapist?
Good. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's appropriate.
Yeah.
It's great to have older friends. I just want to say.
Oh my God, it's the best.
Make older friends. And younger friends.
And younger friends.
Well,
Yes.
we have
And
to
younger
make older friends
Make me as a
because
friend.
for Nikki and I, at least, we need to make older friends in the hopes that when we're old, we can make younger friends.
Yeah, and they'll take care of us.
Yeah, it's like pay it forward.
I feel so cool when young people do want to be friends with me, but that will mean a lot to me. If I'm like in my 60s and like a 30-year-old wants to hang out with me, that'll be fucking cool.
Yeah.
Because it's like it does bum me out that I won't be able to have kids that are old adults that would be my friends. Because I like my relationship with my parents now so much. Like that's been maybe the best part of it all, and that kind of bums me out. I wouldn't have that. So maybe I'll adopt one when I get to my 60s. Adopt a child.
You have to be if you're real cool when
true.
you're in your 90s. You've got some 40-year-old friends.
That's hard to maintain coolness that late. You have to be like you have to be like posting on Instagram and stuff as a 90-year-old and having like
You don't have
your
to be
nephew
cool.
send you prompts.
You don't have to be cool. You just have
That's
to be
true.
a good friend. Like I'm friends with a 90-year-old woman who's
You
my
are?
downstairs neighbor. Yeah, Irene.
That's so sweet.
And I wouldn't say she's cool. She is pretty cool, but she's not like on Instagram or something. She's not like keeping up with the trends, but she's very active and she
I'm saying I need to like make fans though to take care of me.
you need like a
I'm not gonna be as lucky as
a
Irene
harem.
and just like have like a neighbor boy who's like nice to me. Like
Yeah.
you can't guarantee that.
No, you can't.
I
But
gotta
she
cast
makes
a
an
net
effort.
with Instagram.
She makes an effort to try to make friends. That's what it is that she goes out with
That's
her
so
dog.
sweet.
She walks around the neighborhood and she talks
Yes.
to everybody who has a dog or not.
You have to make an effort to make
Yeah.
friends. That's a shitty part of it. Do you
Yep.
do you ever follow that grandma Dwormak or something? I forgot her name. Drozniak. Oh, here she is. Droniak. Grandma Droniak on Instagram. If you aren't following her, I'm talking to every single person right now. Take out your phone and go follow grandma _Droniak. Droniak. You will not be disappointed. She is a hilarious grandma who sets up her camera and talks about how she's going to slay from the grave and how she's getting ready. She like goes to pick up guys at funerals. She has a boyfriend she just dumped. She is a thriving, probably 90-year-old woman who is like always wearing cute earrings. And let me just play you an example of something she said. Okay, here we go.
Get ready with me to go on first date. This is the first one since I dropped my boyfriend. It's been a month, so it's time. This fella's been wanting to go out with me since I've been living here. I'm feeling flirty. Why not? Because I am single. And he has all his teeth, so I couldn't say no. And if it works out, he's only a few doors down. I always see him eating bananas, so I got bananas earrings. I never kiss on a first date, but this is for me.
Lipstick.
I feel pretty. Let me show you my outfit. This is my date outfit. If he doesn't like it, forget about him. We're going to dinner
so
at
much
the
confidence.
nursing home. How original. He's going to be here any minute. I just came back from dinner and it didn't go well. He tried to kiss me, but I didn't like it. I wanted to throw a banana at him, but I couldn't dare. That wouldn't be ladylike. Whatever, on to the next. I love you.
She
Wow.
is out there trying to like get it at a nursing home, and she's going on a date. And the great part is she can talk blatantly about these guys because they're not online. They're not on social media. So she can tell you all about her date. Like I couldn't do that kind of thing. It's
Or
like
at
a
that point,
freedom.
who gives a shit
She
anymore?
is so cute. And I've seen her kind of, you know, she like fell. I've been following for a couple of years, and like she was living on her own when I first started following her. Now she's in a home, but she's like having a good time, and she's so cute. And her nephew, or maybe her grandson, is this other kid who he travels. He takes day trips to like Tokyo and shows you how to do one day in Tokyo, and like by yourself. And he's really cool. And I forget his name, but I relate to that. Day
doing
trips.
one day in a doing one day in a place.
city. Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no.
But I don't relate to making the most of it. I relate to driving to the from airport, hotel, to venue, to hotel,
Wait,
to airport.
you skipped something. Starbucks.
14 Starbucks
Yes.
in between. We got to go to break. We'll be back after this. Okay, so one more thing I wanted to hit is that I trended on TikTok.
Oh, right.
TikTok.
Yeah, so what
I
happened?
made a video last weekend to the Gracie Abrams song "That's So True" that I love. And I've been waiting for a Gracie song to like be a thing on TikTok, and Emily has been like patrolling it. And she was like, "Oh my God, Nikki, Gracie's That's So True is like a thing on TikTok." And I was like, "I don't know that song." It was like one that just came out last week. I'm like, "I haven't learned it yet. Do one that I know." So I just quickly learned it. I had to like memorize it, and it took a minute because it's fast. But I learned the second verse that it was just on Instagram. Like, I guess people were like putting in the background of their videos and stuff. Like, it was just a song that was
A
appearing
trending
on
sound.
Yes. But no one was doing anything with it that I know of that was like a trend yet. So I just sang the song, lip synced it, and it's like, I was in a dressing room, so I was like, let's start in the mirror, and then I'll turn to the camera, and then it's something about taking down your hair, so I'll take down my hair, and then it's taking off your shirt, I'll take off my shirt. I did that once, twice, and then I was like, and then you go, and I like asked Andrew to stand on the side, so I would like be like, to him, and he would be like, what? And then, so it was just like a fun, like
So
series
cute.
of things that we timed out. And I didn't cut, at first Emily and I were cutting it so I could memorize each little part, because I can't remember the whole thing. And then we were like, no, let's just try to do it in one take. And I did it finally. And then I think Gracie posted it, which was so cool. And
She
then
commented on yours.
and commented on it and said like, this is my like dream music video. And it was like Emily was like, Gracie commented like an hour after we posted it. It was so nice. And then a couple days later, like Emily's like, not you like starting a TikTok trend. That's how Emily talks. Like, like, oh my God, not you starting a TikTok trend. And then she would send me all these videos of people doing it where they start looking in the mirror and then they turn, they take down their hair, and then they take off their shirt, and then they go once, twice, and then the rest of it, I didn't do many funny things or whatever, but and people are doing this and recreating it. It was so touching, and it was just like a bunch of random people. And then today I woke up to Emily saying, let me go back far on the feed because I've been like, I lost my dress, and she's like, don't panic, we're gonna figure it out. Okay. She wrote 6:26 a.m. waking up to see Hamilton doing your trend. PLS, please. And then she sends me it.
She's so funny. I love the way she texts.
I love the way she talks. She sent me a video on Instagram of someone's like tour video, like a tour recap. Speaking of how she talks. And I have joked about her leaving me for this person someday, because I'm like, that's just how it works. Like, if you ever get offered to work for this megastar, you should go. And she really is a fan of this megastar. So she sent me the megastars a reel that they had posted of like a recap of their tour, and she goes, wait, why are our tour recaps 100 times better than this? PLS, capitalized, please. TBT to when you said you'll leave me one day to work for blank, like, and then all caps, nah, girl, please, PLS, please, the word written out in all caps, please, as in never, and then that's in like stars. And I go, oh my God, you should totally leave me. This girl needs help. I wouldn't blame you. And she was like, and then she freaked out because she thought that she thought that I thought she was saying she was leaving me for this girl or something, or that she would. And I was like, first of all, I didn't think that. Like, why would you say that to me? And you should, if you ever get the opportunity. I would be like very happy for you. But then then I went into a Pilates class, and she was like, wait, Nikki, I'm joking, right? And I was like, and I was in this class, and so she said she spiraled in her therapy session about it.
Aww.
And that made me so sad. And I'm like, she goes, that's just the way I talk. You know that I wasn't actually saying that. I was saying like please, like, oh my God, like I wasn't saying please let it happen. And I was like, no, girl, I know how you talk now. You don't have
She's
to
very caring.
decipher it. She is very cute.
Sweet.
But Hamilton did my trend.
That's amazing.
And
the cast of Hamilton?
I mean, I didn't watch it yet because I'm too nervous because it's just like too much for me. But yeah, dude, I'm watching it now.
For sure I did that once.
Yeah, they start in the mirror. Oh my God. So it's one person from Hamilton.
Yes.
Not my business, but I had to warn you.
Okay, I hope we don't get like a strike for
This
playing this
song
music.
rules so much. It goes on and on. She did it good. I can't see it really. Oh, she did a cool wall thing that I should have done. It
So
rules.
is that Hamilton video on TikTok?
Yes.
Is that like reposted with Nikki's original sound, or is that?
No. I think it's
So
I
on
don't.
YouTube, I played it while Nikki was talking about it. So if anyone wants to see it, please go to her YouTube channel. If you don't want to
It's
go to her
not
TikTok.
reposted with my sound. I think it's just reposted with it's reposted with her music. So you do it to her music.
But you created
Yeah. You
this
should.
choreography.
Yes, I created
Yes. Yes.
which is the most ironic thing that could ever be said about anything that I've done is like a choreography. But yes, I did.
Yes.
I invented, and I want to do more because I have to be honest with you. This is my talent. This is my big, like, I think that I am the probably capable of being, I think I need a lot of practice, but being one of the best lip syncers to songs and then doing things while I'm lip syncing that really sell the words.
I mean,
If
you're
that
going to be
makes
better
any
than a lot
sense.
of people. I mean, I see people like the hottest girls on TikTok are the worst lip syncers and they have the most views.
I
Like
can't
their
watch
mouths
them.
aren't even moving. Like it's like they're not even trying to say the words. It's like they're purposely a little bit late and not saying like they say like half the word. Like if the word is jacket, their mouth will just say like jack.
It is confounding why
Yeah.
these are it's just because they're hot, and it's like
Yes.
it's really distracting. I can't stand when the sound is off. In fact, Emily has grown up watching these videos of girls like with like a half a second lag, and so
Yeah.
it's normal to them. It's like it isn't jarring to look at. For me, I'm like, do it right. So Emily has one time posted one that was like a 0.001 second off, and literally only I would notice it because I am obsessed about it being perfectly on. And I was like, hey girl, you need to take that down. And she was like, she was horrified. And I was like, you're allowed to make a mistake. Like this is, and you didn't notice. I wouldn't expect you to notice because I'm weird about this. I'm as you're not supposed to say OCD. This is my like, I'm not okay with it being a little bit off, but I see it all the time.
Yep.
It's almost like
Maybe
you
that's what's
rarely
good
see one
now.
that's good.
Do
But
we have to
the talking ones are
change what we think
very,
is
very
good?
difficult. That's the thing.
Yes.
Talking ones are impossible. Singing ones, not so hard because you're on a beat. But talking, finding the rhythm, there's no rhyme or reason for it. So you just have to like kind of either. So sometimes I've done a thing where I'm like keep a beat with my hand and I count the seconds and I go, okay, between I say these sentences, it's going to be 3 of these because otherwise you can't know it.
Well, you know who?
So they are
you know,
hard.
I mean, like Sarah Cooper. Remember her from the?
Oh, she was great at it. She
I mean, she
was
still
great
is.
at
What's
it.
she doing now, Sarah Cooper? Haven't heard from her in a
know.
while.
She was everywhere.
Yeah, in the last
2020,
election.
2021. Yeah.
No, it was actually it was during COVID. Yeah, so it was like before the election. I think was when it really peaked. 2020
Right.
pre-election. During
Yeah.
COVID, while Trump was still president, she was doing those lip sync videos. What happened to her? I wonder what happened to her. Is she writing for something? Maybe.
I
haven't seen or heard from her in a while.
I know. I don't know the answer to this. Should we file a missing persons report? I'm now realizing, oh my God, I don't know where she is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Final thought. Sarah Cooper, where are you? I'm sure you're still working. The thing is, I will forget about people all the time, as I'm sure people forget about me. Like sometimes I'll be like, oh my God, I used to be like really obsessed with this thing, or like, oh, I used to be, comparing myself to this girl or this guy a lot, and I don't see them anymore. Are they still doing stuff? And then I go, and they have a full career. They're still charging ahead as much as they were. It's like the algorithm knew that I wasn't interested anymore or something, or like, and I've even talked about this. If you mute someone, they go away forever. Like you do not see them anymore. Like you don't realize how muting a person that is triggering to you truly makes them not exist in your life within a week. Like I would say even sooner, because I have a joke in my act about it right now that I'm trying to work on, but it's like I muted a friend because during COVID, because her life was going great, and I just was tired of seeing it, you know. And I was like, oh, I'll just unmute her when I'm more mentally stable, because like it's all about me, right? And then I didn't, because I forgot, because as soon as I muted her, she disappeared from my thoughts. She wasn't a person I ever even knew. So in that time, like she like got married and had a baby, and like this was a friend of mine, and like had like really cool things happen in her career. And it's someone, if I would have seen that happening, I would have texted them to be like, congratulations, or like been a friend. But because they disappeared, I didn't know she had a baby, and she's like a friend of mine. And then I saw her, I ran into her, and she was like, yeah, I had a baby. I'm like, oh, and you run into the person and you realize, oh my God, I don't know anything about their life. Oh my God, I think I muted them. Oh my God, do they know I muted them because I haven't liked anything? Like that's a clear indication. And they don't fucking notice.
No, you can't notice that. You can't notice that someone stopped liking your stuff. But I will say that
a crazy person could. I mean, this person wasn't crazy though.
But you just assume that you have so many followers and that your Instagram is probably so busy. And most of the people would assume that you're not even looking at your Instagram anymore, that someone else like Gen Z M is in control of it. And so like there's like so many excuses that you have for not liking posts.
I'm going to remind you of what you have always told me that always sticks in front of my mind, and I constantly think about it, is that like, she's not thinking about you. She's like, you know, it's not your wedding, it's her wedding.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Yes. But I will say that if I guess when I don't feel this way about this person anymore, because we aren't friends anymore. Not like it's like we had bad blood or something. Like I would, if she was pregnant now, I wouldn't text her. It's like we're not close anymore. But at this time that we were close, and I just think I thought at that time, if the tables were turned, would I have been like, why didn't she like reach out and say congrats on your baby? I think I would have thought that. So I think that's why I was like,
oh, okay.
I maybe would have been that shallow of a person. But you're right, Noah. Like most of the time, no.
Trust me, she has
I don't
mom
know
brain.
how all consuming being a mom is. For
she doesn't
your
remember
brain.
anything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As you shouldn't. There was a pregnant woman today in my Pilates class. Shout out.
Ooh.
Like, I can't believe you were doing that. I can't believe you were doing that. And did you have to pay double? Because we live in Missouri where a fetus is a person.
Yeah.
Did you have to pay double? I think you should. Can
I just give a Sarah Cooper update?
We're dying to know.
Yes, I've been researching.
I'm sure she's working a lot.
Okay,
I bet
so
you anything.
Sarah Cooper released a memoir in 2023 called Foolish that's got 4.4 out of 5 stars on Amazon right now.
That
Very
ain't bad.
good. Very good. She was in Unfrosted, the Jerry Seinfeld movie.
I knew that. I saw her in that. She was good.
Yeah. She was in something
She's
else.
talented as fuck. And then, is she touring? Is she like, well, what's her Instagram like? Is she doing lip syncs?
Yeah, her Instagram doesn't have. 4 days ago, she posted she's not really posting lip syncs anymore, I don't think. So maybe she's moved on from there. But she's not. You know what happens
I'll pick up from here, girl.
Once you
That's my new thing.
Once you reach a certain level, based like Scott Seiss, you know Scott Seiss?
Yeah.
So he kind of did a similar thing where it's like nobody really wants to be posting that frequently content to Instagram.
Exhausting.
So once you reach a certain level and you're like, oh, I'm selling tickets now, I can move on to my other projects, you just stop posting stuff, or you post something once every few months maybe, and it's fine. Your followers stay the same. Now, there's also the other route, like what you're doing, where you hire a team to help you now keep
Which
this
they
ball in the
absolutely
air.
should do.
Right. But, for them, I don't think it's like as helpful for them to do that. Like they have a different type of career than you right now, anyway.
Yeah, and that's not easy to do, by the way, to find someone to do that. And also, I mean, I'm still struggling with it, even though she's like, I will do anything for you. I'm like, I don't know what to make. I don't know how to make, like, me making that video that night. Like, I was just in the right mood to do it. It was a song that I had been waiting, a song that I knew and I was excited about. Like, I just have to be to wake up every day and have to feel like you would have to make content. I really like,
that's a
I
job.
feel for these people.
Well, that's why there's
and look
three.
hot and like be bubbly and fun.
I think there's three types of people.
Not
I think
creative.
there's people like you who are now like, you're not a person anymore. You are like an industry.
Hey.
Like you are Nikki Glaser, the concept, and online that needs
Okay.
to be like a company. Like you're like Coca-Cola releasing like ads every day for selling tickets to your comedy shows.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what you
I'm a
need to be,
commodity.
right? You're a commodity. That's a better word than saying you're not a person. You're a
Yeah.
commodity. And then there's below that, there's two types of people. There's people who make content for the purpose of raising their profile so that they can do something else. And then there are people who are on the internet. They are internet personalities that will have to be making content every day for the rest of their lives because the second they stop, the money stops coming in.
Oh my God.
And both of them are equally as risky because you might not get any money from doing jobs in this hellish industry, or if you stop running on the hamster wheel, you'll stop getting money because you won't get that ad revenue or that Patreon or whatever.
Oh my God. It's all hard. I'm writing this Joan Rivers speech that I'm giving on Thursday, and going through old jokes of hers about like aging and thinking about like what it meant to me and what it means to me that she was like so open about it, and how like it's like, you know, she's passing down wisdom of like, here's what's going to happen to your bodies, ladies, but here's like some really visceral jokes about it. You know, like one is like, I took off my bra the other day, or I took off my swimsuit at the beach the other day and clubbed a baby seal. There's just tons. I mean, I'm mad that I can't remember them all right now. What was another one that was? But anyway, so I'm like thinking, I'm trying to like analyze. The English major in me is like writing a paper right now. I'm like, I have to say something about all of this. Like, I can't just be like, here's Joan's jokes and then here's my jokes. Like, I want to say something, or like continue the conversation that she started. But I'm like landing on like, I mean, I guess the thesis that I've always landed on, which is being pretty rules. And when you're not, you develop other things to make people like you just as much. And my whole thesis is like, Joan wouldn't be funny if she thought she was pretty. And I have the receipts to prove it. I'm like, because I even wrote in the thing, I'm like, who knows if it'll make the final one, but I just wrote today, I was like, I'm going to say that I don't think Joan would have been a comedian if she thought she was pretty. And that's not just speculation. There's proof. Here's all the proof. And then here's this joke. You would not write these jokes if you thought you were pretty. And then also, but then she has this one joke where she's like, says something about she was like, I heard this woman did this surgery for this. And she was like, don't laugh. It was me. And I'm like, the realest part of this joke is don't laugh, because like she obviously wants you to laugh because it's a joke, but like she's also like, don't laugh at this person that I'm describing, because she talks about her plastic surgeries too, which she always got mocked for. Like, I'm like, she mocked a lot of people, obviously, on the red carpet and stuff, but she was made fun of so much for her plastic surgery. Like, she was the punchline to like, if you need a person that has had bad plastic surgery, you say Joan Rivers' name.
Yeah.
And all she was trying to do was stay beautiful. All she wanted was to be pretty. That's all she wanted. And then instead she got made fun of for her efforts to do so. And it's just so sad. And but in the speech, I'm going to mention Dr. Diamond's name twice so that I get I save some money on, because it's going to be on NBC. Like, he's going to get promotion from it. So I'm going to say his name, and then I'm going to say his name again.
And this is like a thing that's predetermined. Wait, it's like he says, if you do this twice, you'll get a discount?
No, but I can't imagine I won't.
Right,
like, right. It's going to get the word out. I can't imagine he wouldn't like, I mean, I'm not like, I would still go to him because he's the best. Mm-hmm. And I'm not doing that. I'm not saying that to get anything free. This would not be, that would be, no, it is not. No, it is not an ad. I found him through one of the prettiest people I've ever met in my life. I asked her, where do you go? And that's who she said she went to. So that's who I go to. And
Diamond is the hardest mineral.
Yep. And that's his real name, I think. I don't care.
Cut through anything.
And I just trust him. He's amazing. Anyway, so I'm going to drop his name twice to get a discount, which I think Joan would have approved of as well. Mm-hmm. But I also wanted to be like, I want to say some things that like maybe are a little offensive. Like, because I'm like, I need to like embody Joan's spirit and like say something fucking crazy. Not crazy, but just like, whoa, she went there. Like, it's not even like Nikki Glaser style. Like, I think if I were to be me in this kind of setting on NBC, like prime time, like play by the rules. But I'm like, no, Joan wouldn't want that. At least I would hope that if someone was memorializing me in this way, that they would try to like channel what I would do.
Yeah.
So
why not?
I'm going to try to do that.
I think she would mention
lose out
Dr.
on getting
Diamond
the
7
Tonight Show.
times.
I should, it's just at the end. Say it over and over like people
Dr.
do.
Diamond, Dr. Diamond, Dr. Diamond.
All right. Well, we can go now. I have to go catch a plane to
I'm going to be
York
planted
City.
on a couch all night. I'm
Really?
usually planted on a couch, but
Just
tonight
watching the
particularly.
news. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to be watching, Property Brothers season 7.
Anya said
Bravo.
she wants to just go out in the woods for 5 days.
Oh, that would be nice. She lives very close to the woods, so that's pretty easy for her.
I was like, but she's like, I'm just not going to pay attention to it. I'm like, aren't you living with someone though? Like, don't both people? Because otherwise I would just be like watching my partner look at their phone and be like, what's, like trying to decipher their face. I'm like, you can't avoid it unless you live alone.
Right.
And don't pick up your phone.
Or there's a truce and there's an agreement.
Okay, well, future listeners, in the future, I hope everything's good with you guys. And we'll be back next week to talk about it in like, after it's
The
happened.
fallout.
Yeah, we'll talk about it then. I hope everyone's well. Meditate today if you need it. And don't be and bye.